at you live from my home studio, beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast, and it became a thing very much different. It became a thing, a very different show, literally, as we're getting ready to talk about Michael Conforto. So let's just get right into it. You guys know that man. That's producer Kevin coming out of his favorite kitchen in the world. And hey, Kevbo, the things are happening. Baseball is on fire. Juan Soto to the Mets, as we were firing up alive to talk about the Dodgers signing Michael Conforto. Give us some numbers, give us some figures. Let's talk Juan Soto first, not going to the Dodgers.
Yeah, so Juan Soto, per Jeff Passan, the only person you should really trust on the internet anyway. 15 years, $765 million, with escalators that can get him to $800 million. And no deferred money. So according to everybody I know, they're doing it the right way.
Yeah,
they're not ruining baseball.
They're not ruining baseball. At least they're not yet. We just got the chat going again there. Guys, fire off in the chat. Get us your reactions to this. Again, Juan Soto going to the New York Mets for a butt ton of money, and the Dodgers just, 25 minutes before, it came out, the reports coming from Ken Rosenthal, amongst others, that they were landing Michael Conforto. I don't know why you're not on that screen, but we'll just go ahead and move away from it. Guys, things happen when it's live, and we're just running with it. What do we want to talk about first? I mean, Soto, I had Soto going to the Mets. A lot of people had Soto going to the Mets for the majority of this offseason, and that's a lot of money. That is a bag and a half, man. My God, 15 years, 765.
Yep.
What's
It'll
that
be interesting.
AAV?
It's a lot.
Lots.
I think it's over 50.
Wow.
1 second.
I'll let you do math if you're doing math.
51 a year. So with already announced no deferred money, again, there's escalators to 800 million. The interesting part will be, what's that signing bonus look like, and are there any opt-outs in that contract? Does he have any player options at ages like those big years, like probably like 30, 32, 33, like those last opportunities to get one more big contract. Doomsal threw up a membership, overpay IMO. I think a lot of people are going to say this is an overpay. It was going to be hard to look at this contract and not no matter what that contract came out to. I think a lot of people were going to say it's an overpay.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of people who are going to say that probably didn't watch Juan Soto on a daily basis, because he's really, really good at hitting a baseball.
Yeah. We know there are problems, little issues here and there in Juan Soto's games. He's not a great defender. He probably could be better as a Dodger. He's not a great base runner. Probably could figure that out, be better as a Dodger. But listen, it's good for baseball. It's honestly good for baseball for the Mets to land Juan Soto. I said this, a week or two after, after the Dodgers win the World Series. One of the things I had said, Steve Cohen got that taste of the postseason. His Mets made it to the NLCS. He's going to want to regroup. He's going to want to restock that team. They don't have Pete Alonso on the roster right now. He's a free agent, but you need another bona fide superstars. Listen to my buddy Pinstripe Derek on his podcast, who's also live right now, but he has the Yankees podcast, and I love one of the things he had said earlier, that Francisco Lindor, great player, not really a superstar, doesn't have that vibes. Maybe at some point he was kind of trending that way. Doesn't really have the superstar vibe anymore. But this is going to help. Having Juan Soto next to him, absolutely going to help. Read off some comments there, my friend, while I get some things set up.
$4.99 from Richie Flores. I'm happier than Take Some Mud. We just said no to Soto. Merry Christmas, and let's sign a real Dodger. Inc. Teo F the Dodger Stadium parking lot. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I'm gonna need a Teoscar to the Dodgers pretty quick here. Mythic Tyrant, Mets will suck for 2 decades. Dumb. Love the. I don't know if you're purposely quoting South Park, but it's pretty good. The Matty Man 5 says Dodgers were never in. Yeah, at 765, I have a hard time believing that the Dodgers were seriously in contention. I'm waiting for that Bryce Harper level contract to come out where they're like, yeah, we were at $600 million, but it was over like 8 years or something like that. And there was just and Soto was looking for that longer term deal. A lot of people, El Manny 765 is absolutely insane. Mike, not worth the money. Like just
Nuts.
a lot of people are having the same reactions. At the same time, there's a lot of Mets fans online right now that are also incredibly happy, and as they should be. They just inked arguably probably the best pure hitter we've seen, like in our lifetime at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy when he comes to the plate, he's prime Barry Bonds, like with the bat. He's dangerous. He's a pure hitter. He's just 26. He can get on base. He's got the slug. He can use the entire field. When you're talking about somebody offensively, he is the man. He's absolutely the man. And to not lose myself here, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do that thing because hey, it turns into a full show after all. I gotta tell you that about Bet Online. It continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch games as they happen with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. It's got it all. Head to BetOnline today. Don't forget to use that promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. So let's get a little live feed to a bunch of MLB national writers. So there it is. Mark Feinsand, Soto deal with that $75 million signing bonus, which isn't that huge, but it's still pretty freaking big.
That's massive. That's
when you're talking about a deal over $700 million, my God, it's so much money.
Yeah.
He's not. Juan Soto is not a $700 million player. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Scotty G just tweeted out Shohei Ohtani's a bargain. Yeah.
I mean, he makes money too. Juan Soto is not going to make that kind of money. That's another big factor there. But 15,765 again, a lot of money. The other factor for the Dodgers, we kind of started maybe assuming when just minutes before, like I said, a couple minutes before. We hear the Dodgers landing Michael Conforto, which was initially the whole point of us going live here. 1 year, $17 million deals. This is the report. A bunch of people on it. Mark Feinsand first. Apparently MLB.com is paying off their insider people. Does not take him out of the running for Teoscar Hernandez. Does take him out of the running for Juan Soto. According, one is a fact, but the other one, Teo, according to Ken Rosenthal. Let's talk Dodgers now. Now we know Juan Soto off the plate. Michael Conforto. This is a guy. He's had some pop in his career. What do you got?
Oh, just really quick, we can wrap this up. Yankees had a 760 for 16
that's
deal.
another good point.
He just straight up said no to the Yankees. He was like that. They had very similar deals, and he just said no.
I mean, listen, man, the Yankees, they're getting older. Hal Steinbrenner doesn't have Steve Cohen money, man. That's just a fact. And if he wants to win, he wants to be, the star on a team, he's going to do it in New York wearing Mets pinstripes, not Yankees pinstripes. Do the Mets even still have pinstripes on their uniform?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's like I know the bare minimum they had an alternative one or something like that. But yeah, I'm very interested. What do we think the Dodgers were at? Because we heard they wouldn't go up to that 700 or surpass that 700 mark. What do you think they were at? What do you think we hear?
My guess is we're gonna hear 9 to 10 years in the $600 million range. I think they just didn't. As we've seen in the past, it's just a years thing. I don't think they wanted him for 15 years, and I totally get it. Or if they told him, hey, we'll give you 15 years, but after like the 5th year, we have a team opt out.
It's a long time. So Conforto, we know Dodgers still most likely the team to land Teoscar. Hopefully this Soto deal being done does not affect Teoscar's market. It will. Now we know the Yankees are going to go full court press on trying to land Teoscar Hernandez. Is that going to go up? Josh Blank saying in the chat, we need Teo. If you talk to our friend Richie Flores, he would talk to you, till he's blue in the face. I don't know. I think he never runs out of air for sure, but how much he wanted Teoscar for what he brings to the team. He's a good dude. He fits in that clubhouse, and you know what he can do with the bat, and he's going to be fine for the next 3 or 4 years. There was a report earlier too with Teoscar that they're still kind of hammering out. I think there might be an extra year on the deal could be the hang up right now. But you need to have Teoscar Hernandez back, and now it's an absolute fact. And Michael Conforto is as okay of a signing as it is. He's filling your Kevin Kiermaier, your Jason Hayward sort of quota you needed on this roster. You needed that lefty off the bench. He's not Jock Peterson, which I love. Something I told you before we went live when we were talking on the messenger. But yeah, I'm not. It's insurance for James Outman too. I'm not mad at Michael Conforto. However, if you don't get Teoscar Hernandez, then you're in a world of hurt. You're absolutely in a world of hurt.
Yep. More news just keeps breaking on the Juan Soto thing. He has an opt-out after the 5th year, according to John Morosi. So that's an interesting wrinkle. I wonder if maybe the Yankees didn't want him to have an opt-out. So when you start adding opt-outs in, then you start wondering, okay, where were the Dodgers at? Because if he wanted an opt-out after the 5th year, I think that's something the Dodgers would be heavily interested in. But anyway, to Michael Conforto, he's a good player. He's a above average hitter, left-handed bat, plays mostly in the corners. They'll probably end up playing right field, has a good arm. They're kind of banking on him having a Teoscar Hernandez type. I don't know. I don't want to say resurgence, but so he had a down year last year. He sold out for a bit of power. His walk rate went down, strikeout rate went up. But he did, his ISO power went up by 40 points. The interesting thing is he all of a sudden became good against left-handed pitching, where in his career he normally was a right-handed masher. And then I think the one thing the Dodgers looked at is he's a whole 200 points better OPS-wise. So his OPS is 200 points higher batting away from Oracle Park last year with the Giants.
That makes a lot of sense.
So, yeah, left-handed hitters in Oracle, they don't always, unless you can hit it into the water, they don't really mix. But I think the Dodgers saw that and said, okay, maybe there's something here. I think Jeff Snyder, it was Jeff in the Discord earlier, says this isn't going to preclude them or stop them from doing anything else they want. And I just agree. There's no such thing as a bad 1-year deal. If they want to give Dalton Rushing a try and he's the guy, they can trade him or trade him being Conforto. They can release him. I don't think it's a big deal. I think this is just insurance. Like you said, it's just the Jason Hayward signing pretty much, but with actual offensive upside where we knew what Jason Hayward was when they signed him.
And you kind of have that guy as well, maybe at some point Dalton Rushing is the man for this team, as we've talked about. James Outman too, kind of on that bubble of maybe he could play his way back into the good graces, back to being a factor for the team. Most likely, though, Outman not going to be a factor, could be a part of some sort of, one of those famous, Dodgers salary dumps, whatever you offset the salary. Think of what they did in 2018 with the Reds to get rid of the Matt Kemp deal, the Yasiel Puig deal, and they picked up some other pieces or whatever. You could say the same thing. They want to get out from under Chris Taylor. Absolutely. James Outman maybe has a value to some other team out there. I don't think they're very much in on him. And having Conforto, he's been a pretty good player at different points in his career. Obviously, injuries have derailed him for a decent little chunk of his career. There was a point there he was kind of it felt like he was always injured. But when healthy, this was a guy who was 25, 30 homer pop with the Mets in his earlier part of the career. So if somehow maybe like you were saying, maybe they're hoping they kind of strike or find lightning in a bottle here, and they're able to find somebody who could be their starting left fielder. He's somebody who has played some center field in his career. I wouldn't put him there at this point, probably, but still, he's going to be 32. This is his age 32 season coming up. Maybe it does become something where it's a low risk, even though it's $17 million. They just print money these days, as we say. It's a low risk and high upside. You got potential reward with somebody like Michael Conforto. I don't hate it. I love it even more. Daddy Warbuck saying Outman is out 110%. I don't think anybody as nice as James Outman is. The Rock was fun, but he's not a complete ball player. He's got more holes in his swing than Swiss cheese. As we get $1.99 super chat from Richie Flores, says little Andy better sign Teo by 7:30. It was 7:25 when he sent this. And also, I'm sorry, that was one of those bad puns. I did do a show with Doug on Friday, so those kind of do rub off. But yeah, there's the state of the nation right now. Waiting on more, waiting on the next big update. 16 Yankees. Can't believe they were willing to go 16 and 760.
Yeah, that's really
money, man.
Yeah, it's just a bad day to be a Yankees fan. It really is. That's again, you get a guy in your clubhouse, take him to the World Series, and he goes, you know what? Queens looks a little better than me right now. And I mean, obviously this makes the Mets better. Like, this improves their lineup tremendously. I don't know if the Mets are a Juan Soto away from beating the Dodgers in the NLCS. Like, I don't know if Juan Soto's on the Mets that, their lineup was really top heavy once you got past like Lindor, Pete, Alonso, and then Mark Vientos. There wasn't too much, but I don't know. I
would say people like us, people that don't watch the Mets on the daily. I think we were more like, I wouldn't say in awe, but believe more in Mark Vientos than Yankee or Mets fans do. Like, he was kind of, it was a flash in the pan year if you look at his you look at his baseball reference. I don't think you could pencil that in now for the rest of his career. So I do agree. I mean, they're not just a Soto away, but I mean, this is day one of the winter meetings. They're going to go out there, going to be trying to make some moves, continue to make some splashes. Like we talked about earlier on the channel, Willie Adames being off the market as well. He's another guy where the Mets were looking at him as a backup, a fallback plan if they don't land Soto. But reality is they probably could have looked at him as an addition to and just spent all of the money in the world. But they still need pitching. They need pitching bad. And now you wonder too if eventual friend of the show Roki Sasaki is going to look at something like this. And I know this is a super out of left field, but the Mets got better and they have Kodai Senga.
They do. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's the beauty of the Sasaki sweepstakes is everybody's in it. This isn't, Juan Soto, we kind of knew was roughly about 4 to 5 teams that would likely sign him. The Cardinals were never in on it.
No.
Sasaki could sign with the Cardinals if he wanted to. I don't know why you would. If you wanted to, though, he could. So Sasaki could do the same thing with the Mets. And I think that's going to make it really intriguing. That's going to make it a lot of fun. Good for the Mets, though. Happy they got a little better. At least they didn't sign Daniel Murphy, because honestly, that might have scared me a little more.
44-year-old Daniel Murphy.
He
would find a way. I would not be shocked to see, the Mets get creative. If they need a third baseman, they want an infielder. We know Nolan Arenado's available in trades. I don't know. I don't want to
trade him because then the Dodgers won't trade him.
I don't want to wildly speculate. I know a lot of people aren't in on the whole idea. Or maybe Chris Taylor would look good in a New York Mets uniform. I don't know what they have that we would want, but to get out from under him. So do you think? I want to go back to the Conforto thing. Something we talked about, Doug and I talked about, a Kiké Hernandez factor. Do you think this Conforto thing takes the Dodgers out of the Kiké Hernandez running? Because for me, I feel like Chris Taylor is the problem. Like Manuel Margot was in spring training, Chris Taylor is the problem for Kiké Hernandez right now. But what do you think? You think it takes him out, Conforto, even though they bat different-handed and all that kind of stuff, takes him out on Kiké?
No, I think Chris Taylor's his own damn problem. I don't think this takes him out of the Kiké sweepstakes or running or whatever. I still think they'll end up getting him back. There's only 1 year left of this Chris Taylor contract. I wouldn't be shocked if they say, "Hey, thank you very much. We appreciate you, but we need a guy who can, like, even if it's only for a month of the year, can actually do something. So I don't think this. I think Conforto is, like you said, more of a Jason Hayward, a Kevin Kiermaier type signing than he is a Kiké Hernandez. Like, there's not really a comparison. I mean, Kiké can play anywhere, but Kiké was mostly in the infield anyway. Chris Taylor, they kind of like him a little bit more in the outfield if we're looking at, who's backing up which positions. So I still think this firmly leaves them on the Kiké Hernandez train. They can still go out and sign Teoscar, though they better go out and sign Teoscar. So I don't really think the Conforto signing doesn't really
it doesn't affect much.
anything for anybody.
I think it doesn't affect much. Yeah, I mean, it means
Juan Soto signing does, though.
Jason Hayward isn't coming back. That's what it means. But chances are he wasn't going to come back after the way they cut him. I also was laughing when you were talking there because I saw your quote tweet of John Heyman. Very good, very sly. Hey guys, this guy's sneaky good. Give him a follow, Skinner7Kevin on Twitter. We're trying to get him to, what are you at now? Let's get him to 150 tonight, guys. He's at 127.
Yeah, Elon finally purged all the porn bots, so my followers dropped in half.
Plus the people leaving for the blue sky and whatnot. I mean, I don't got much else. I don't want to make these type of reaction shows long for the sake of being long. You guys get the point. Dodgers will hopefully land Teoscar Hernandez. If he lands tonight, we'll be back probably.
Yeah.
If not, live tomorrow, 12 o'clock Pacific time on Dodgers territory, and then we'll be back. I don't know. We haven't talked about your availability tomorrow night, but we should be active here on the All Dodgers YouTube channel because it's winter meetings. It's the most happiest time of the year or some shit. You didn't get to see John Heyman out in the real world, and I can't believe it.
I can't
believe it. God damn.
Did you see him, like, did you see the string of texts or tweets he had, like, last night about,
Oh, somebody thought he, like, didn't they Photoshop I don't know. I mean, shit's going wild on this internet, man.
It was Hammond. Yeah, it was. I don't want to if it wasn't real, but it was really funny if it was.
Binky says, great name by the way, 765 for a DH, literally a pure DH. I would have loved him as a Dodger, but that is insane. And I think that was sort of a mission of ours before we do sign off. That was sort of a mission of ours or of mine this offseason on this channel, is to make people realize that, like, Juan Soto is not worth that kind of money. Yeah, you find a way to love Juan Soto if the Dodgers sign him, because he'd be real easy to love. He's a phenomenal bat. But same time, he just creates problems for this team. He's going to be a DH down the road, or you can try to force him to be a first baseman where he's not a first baseman. It's just, you're creating issues, you're creating problems down the road, and you're trying to assume he might opt out too, which is, there's no guarantee that's going to happen. But $1.99 super chat from Ernesto. Thank you very much, Ernesto. Says Conforto, not Teo. Soto to Mets. Teo is gone. I disagree. I mean, to me, it's not Conforto, not Teo. It's Conforto and eventually Teo. Teo should be coming back. I mean, they're got to be on the 10-yard line, maybe 8-yard line by now. Something is happening. Pieces are moving. Teo wants to get back.
Hey, Teo, man, they're gonna feel the pressure because realistically, it's Teoscar or Santander, or you swing a trade for somebody. And, like, the good options, we'll say, are thin, and Santander is not a good defender either. So it's not like, we're getting premium defense out of anybody that we would have signed. And to your point, when you give somebody generation, like the biggest contract in all of sports, it's really tough to kind of justify it when he's really only good at one side of the plate. Granted, the one side of the plate is like the most important thing in the sport, but what made Shohei's contract worth it is he's also an elite pitcher. Like, he's also
elite, a frontline ace.
He's also elite at the other most important thing in baseball. If you need hitters, you also need, like, good pitchers, and he could do both. Whereas Juan Soto, he's just really good at hitting. But, like, don't get me wrong. He's really good.
Juan Soto is a
Doing
better
that.
hitter than Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani. I will argue that, no problem. And Shohei Ohtani is a phenomenal hitter. But again, he, like you're saying, he's also an ace. He's a phenomenal pitcher. And he literally, again, brings in his own money. He helps the team by having advertisers be like, we want our stupid product name in your outfield because he's on your team. And the Dodgers make a lot of money having Shohei around. They probably would not with Juan Soto. I will say I'm happy the Juan Soto era, the sweeps. It's so like, guys, pour one out for the Juan Soto off season. This was somehow worse than the Bryce Harper offseason I suffered a few years ago. My first year doing this, YouTube thing. I wouldn't say full-time, but full-time-ish. Like, my God, SK, this is LOL, 765 for a two-tool player. How desperate can you be? Stevie Cohen's pretty desperate, man.
The one tool is pretty, like, if you're talking about clubs in a golf bag, I mean, he's got the most important clubs.
Dukeston 1, echoing what I was saying, Shohei is also a lead at bringing in the Japanese market. Money making is a huge part of that deal. And I mean, I guess Steve Cohen has his other way of making money. He just do some trades, do all that kind of stuff, and he could figure out how to make some money. But guys, that's about it. We will be back at some point. Foop says the Mets are rooting baseball, and I agree. Boo Mets, lol Mets. Hopefully they live to hate the deal, but also good on the Mets. It's good to see other teams getting better, because you can't just have the Dodgers be better than everybody, even though they already are. But they need a little help, and we're hoping that help comes in the form of Teoscar Hernandez and some of these other guys coming back. But if you haven't done it already, subscribe to the channel. We did just pass 8,600 subscribers today. Appreciate you trying to get to 9,000 subscribers here on this channel. If we could do that before Christmas, that would be awesome. I think we can do that. I believe in you people that we can do that. Like the video as well. That helps in the algorithm. And if you're looking for a different way to support the show, support these boys, because Kevin's literally working out of his kitchen.
True. So true. If you guys want me to get out of the kitchen, we need subs. We need more money. We need
we're not over here just panhandling or whatever, but we want to let you know
love of the game, baby.
If you're looking for a different way to help support the channel, we're going to be here either way. But if you're looking for a different way to support the channel and help support independent Dodgers coverage here online,
somebody is saying Blake Treinen signed. Is that true?
Oh no. Well, I was going to say, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on YouTube. It's $5 a month, and you can help support the channel.
It's not from
anybody.
This is from Ari Alexander. This isn't it's not Jeff Passan. Ari Alexander's an MLB insider. He's saying 2 years, $22 million. Again, this isn't Fine Sand. This isn't Fine Sand. It's not Morosi. It's
a Houston area insider, works for NBC News in Houston, KPRC Channel 2. Other people are starting to spread it out a little bit. 2 and 22 is a great deal for Treinen, if that is.
That's great for him.
Joe Wu also pointing that out in the chat as well. I forgot about Alex Bregman. Hey, look at Ari Alexander coming in hot with some topics there. Well, hey, listen, if Blake Treinen is back, and we'll wait for the official, the big boys, to tell us something. What he told the guys on Foul Territory today, or this week, makes me feel pretty confident that at some point he was going to be back, because he loves being a Dodger. Dave wants him back. I think everybody in that organization wants Blake Treinen back because of what he means to that team and to that bullpen. So now we just need the official. We need to have Passan on it.
I need somebody other than Ari Alexander to say something. I've been burned before, not doing it again.
Blake Treinen is on a plane. Well, what do we do? Do we just hang out for a little bit then?
We'll can hang for a few minutes, see what happens. If 2 for 22, that's rich for a reliever. Would that be That would be the most money the Dodgers have given a reliever not named Kenley Jansen, right? They gave Kenley 14, I believe.
What was Joe Kelly's? It was 3 and 25. So yeah,
that was like an 8. That was an 8, and I think Kenley Jansen's contract.
Kenley was 5 and what was it? 80 something, 86, 83.
Yeah, it was a lot. I remember
the bag.
Yeah, it was 5 for 80. Yeah, so if this is true, it would be the largest. It would be the largest reliever contract they've given out, not named Kenley Jansen. I think it's worth it when he's right. He's right. There's no other way of putting it. That sinker, turbo sweep, whatever. I think he recently called it he said, what was it? Some kind of sweep slider.
He called it like, yeah. He very much belittled the whole slider part of it or whatever, or the name sweeper. But there it is. Throw it on the screen. This was the source. Ari Alexander saying Dodgers agreed to terms with Blake Treinen, 2-year, $22 million deal. That'd be good. And that'd be a good deal. And again, you're just continue to bring those pieces back. This was somebody that beyond Teoscar, I think he is more important in my opinion than Kiké Hernandez. But I'm usually not like one of those guys that needs to see the same dudes coming back. I think you can move on and find different pieces. But Teoscar Hernandez, Blake Treinen, and Kiké Hernandez, the importance that they gave to this team, how important they were for this team this year. In that postseason run in particular, you got to have those dudes back. You got to have them back.
Yeah, I agree. I think, because the Dodgers have kind of been much maligned for signing guys for the sake of signing. Yeah, exactly. Amanda Z, this could totally be fake. Absolutely. Again, we haven't heard anything from any of the big. Yeah, this is we're saying if this is true, this is definitely not a signing just because this is a proven commodity. This is a guy that, is arguably the best relief arm in baseball when he's healthy, which with how deep this bullpen can be and how many arms they have in the minor leagues, he can get plenty of time. He can get pretty much as much rest as he wants. He can do some 15-day IL stints if needed. Again, just need to reiterate,
great assault.
This is not confirmed. We have no idea. This is not somebody that I've ever trusted before. I can't believe it would be weird for somebody to just kind of come out and say that and, I don't know, put whatever credentials they have on the line like that. Who would ever do that? But if it's true, it's a good signing. I think this is also an indication that the Dodgers are rewarding some of their key members of the 2024 team.
Yeah.
They're not an organization that typically likes to sign relievers. Yeah. Especially for this amount of money. That's also why I'm not super sure if this is true. I feel like if anything, they'd give him a 1+1. I don't know if they'd give him an outright 2-year deal. But.
Yeah, it might be something more in that line, and that's just what this Ari fellow, tweeted out or something like that. We don't know because again, nobody's talking about it yet. None of the important people are talking about it yet. Of course, also people.
Jeff Passan.
Jeff
Passan just tweeted it too.
Let's go officially. All right. Where you at? Come on, give me the updates. There you are. There we are. Let me go back.
Alrighty, cool.
Let's go back. Hold on. Let me set this up because
the first comment on Jeff is fell off.
Oh God, there it is. 2 years, 22. Okay. Ken Rosenthal not sourcing the correct source, by the way.
Ooh,
wow. The Ari Alexander erasure in this day and age? My sweet Lord, what is going on here? My guy Zed said Clint Passan, baby. Calvin saying Ari has the sources. I have seen this Ari Alexander dude pop up a time or two. So all right, let's reset here for a second, guys. So Juan Soto gone off the Dodgers table, signs with the New York Mets, which we all knew was going to happen.
Didn't want him anyway.
Dodgers land, according to reports, lefty hitting outfielder Michael Conforto on a 1-year deal, $17 million. And now, according to multiple confirmed reports, Blake Treinen returning to the Dodgers, 2-year, $22 million deals. We'll wait and see what the signing bonus and deferrals and all that kind of stuff, because they're going to be in there. They're going to be in there, just like they were with Teo, like they were with everybody. That's just how it is.
Everybody.
Yeah. It's a cool time to be a Dodger fan. I keep saying it, man. It's a really cool time. Somebody said Dodger Matt confirmed, as if Dodger Matt is somebody that has sources. The source is I'm gonna make a graphic. All right, I'm not gonna start shitting on people who are on Instagram. But anyways, I guess now we can say we're done, unless something else is popping up.
No, nothing's popping up. Nope, nothing's popping up. I think. If we're grading signings, if we're looking at signings, if we're looking at guys that needed to come back, this is absolutely one of those guys. I just really, really hope his shoulder isn't minced meat right now.
Nah, he's good.
That was a lot of pitches.
He's good, man. He just rubbed a little prayer on it, and my boy is good. Put some Jesus on that shoulder, and nothing a cigar can't fix either.
Somebody responded, no way Treinen was missing a trip to the White House.
All right, that's the perfect time to get out of here, guys. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out in the chat as we kind of just, raw dogged the winter meetings here. I mean, did we not?
Yeah, we didn't have to be there. That's great. God, we saved plane flights.
Let me tell you. I've been to the winter meetings before. It was only down in San Diego. The wiener meetings, been to the winter meetings before, and all it is just walking back and forth and walking in circles trying to find literally anything. Then again, we weren't extremely connected people at the time. My colleague Doug McCain is much more connected now than he was back then, so I'm sure he's going to get more useful details out there, but it's a massive waste of time really being at the winter meetings when we could be here and we got Twitter telling us all about this stuff, and then we'll talk about it. But guys,
why would I want to leave my kitchen?
10,000 subscribers and Kevin gets a new set. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll green screen it, because I also, after having Doug on, I figured out how to make the green screen into something. I was talking about the Patreon thing. I didn't point out that you also get to join us on Discord, where everybody was in there. We're talking about the signings, talking about the day so far. We will be back all week. Subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Shout out to that guy for telling me, hey, Michael Conforto, you want to do something with it? Yeah, let's do it. And then it became all of this. All of this. So subscribe to him or follow him on the Twitter. That's at Skinner7Kevin. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. Go use that promo code BELIEVE for your first deposit thing or whatever. I'm Real FRG on the social media things. This is the longest outro ever. So I'm sorry, and go Dodgers. Bye.